Just to let you know about two important things. First, Hyundai is aware that this software update ECM or ECU does cause drivability problems within the first cold engine minutes. So could be sputtering, almost stalling, just hesitating acceleration. And Hyundai is aware. The second thing, this affected, this is the technical bulletin, only the 2.4, it appears. Hyundai does an update on the software, and they may not tell you they did that update. So if you bring your car in, we are in June 2026. This started somewhere in the late 2025, I believe. So if you brought the car in for an oil change, they will do this update without even telling you. I don't know, maybe sometimes they will tell you, sometimes they won't. I just want to point to a second very interesting story here. This member on forums, and don't hesitate to come on forums, ask us. So he had two vehicles, one is Tucson, the other Santa Fe, these ones. And he says that after the update, this is how he describes this, and he just didn't took it at all, didn't accept this. And this went to, he had the Hyundai escalate to, it says somewhere here, I'll let you perhaps pause the video and read, I couldn't find it here, but there was something about the safety department here. They escalated to Hyundai safety for review. Okay, what's interesting here is that in the end, the dealership kept the cars overnight, and he said, I left the Tucson, this thing, and then he says, this morning he drove it and had no issues. So what I think happened here, and this is why I'm making one of the points that I'm making this video, is that this update here, I believe Hyundai for that customer did roll back. That's very interesting, because oftentimes when you bring your car for any kind of software updates on the ECM and it causes a problem afterwards, Hyundai will be very not willing to roll back that update, maybe even tell you it's not possible to roll it back. Once you put it in the software of the car, it stays there. And this, what happened with this, because there's no other way they could do no other thing that could do on the car to make that update work fine. If it didn't work, it did have the issue from the start on that vehicle. So there is no other thing they did on the car. I'm fairly sure they did just roll back, they removed that update basically, and put the car the software the way it was before this update. And this update, by the way, is about emissions. I did another video about it. Anyway, so keep this in mind. If you have serious problems, you really don't like this thing, just insist. Again, maybe try to have the dealership escalate to Hyundai safety. And if it's that bad behavior for the first minutes on cold engines, just insist, and hopefully they are going to roll it back. But I'm letting you know it is possible, because again, dealerships may be very in denial that this is not possible to roll back. And it's not just this update. Keep in mind, it's not just this emissions update. Any update, I believe, can be rolled back. Software update, right? So this is the point. Now I like to try to find explanations, right? So this is an update, software update. I did explain in another video what I believe about this, why I believe why there was a problem with emissions in the first place, which is completely surprising. How come cars just all of a sudden, all engines have emissions that are out of the range, when at the factory they had emissions in the range? So maybe there is a problem because the catalytic converter has been damaged by oil consumption or by improper fuel mixture burning. Anyway, what I want to say is that it's interesting that not all cars had this problem after this update. We do have comments and topics actually on forums talking about several owners with complaining about this sort of behavior, but likely it's not everybody who had complain about this. Maybe for some people this update went well. Why? That's the problem. It's that same engine. Why some engines perform properly or relatively properly after the updates, while other engines did not, did really go crazy a bit. And the only reason I think is that some engines have more wear than others, and it's aware that it's affected by this new ECM programming. What kind of wear? That is the big question. Could be perhaps the ACCVT hub that has wear on it, which I made a video, is really important. Could be maybe these engines already have a lot of connected road bearing wear on them. They didn't say yet, but maybe the engines who behave like this are not far away from seizing in the future. That's a mechanical part, right? So I don't know, maybe there is a stock piston rings on those engines that have problems, or maybe, who knows, maybe the cylinders have got ovalized. Hard to tell. Maybe the high pressure fuel pump is leaking, or maybe there is oil around the spark plugs leaking inside and reducing the spark at the cold engine start. Hard to tell. All these are problems that are pretty widespread with this engine, so just keep in mind, if your engine is behaving like this after the update, maybe there is another issue with the engine. Hopefully not, but who knows. Let us know in the forums if you have more questions. Hyundai forums.